But I was very long on this, and what I really want to do is give the stage to our next panelist, Risto Schmid. He is the head of Climate Resilience Switzerland at Zurich Resilience Solutions. I'm sorry. It's not Zurich Insurance. So he told me, please present me as the risk guy and not the insurance guy.
Thank you.
Although, of course, you're part of the same group. Since 2017, he has worked as a risk engineer, and he has focused on natural hazards and climate change. So really in the field of adaptation. You hold a Master of Science in Medical Engineering at ETH, Mechanical Engineering at ETH in Zurich, and you will talk about opportunities for the risk consulting industry / insurance industry. And I give you the floor for your introduction slides.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much, Marcus, and also Philip for the opportunity of attending this panel. So, and thank you very much for highlighting that I'm not the insurance guy, yes. So about obviously Zurich Resilience Solutions, and speaking about insurance, who of you does not know Zurich Insurance? Hands up. So you see that's a very well-known brand, obviously. And who of you is familiar with Zurich Resilience Solutions? Hands up. Quite a few, but you see much less than it is with the insurance colleagues. And that's obviously what we're working on. So hopefully in a couple of years, there will be more hands up coming up when it also relates to Zurich Resilience Solutions. Now, speaking about climate and climate resilience, I think in each of the panels, be it yesterday or the presentations, the keynotes also this morning, resilience, that's a word that constantly comes up. Another question, thinking about when you hear climate change, who of you does not think or get a picture in his mind about a natural catastrophe that has happened? Anybody does not get immediately a picture of, I mean, can be very personal. Maybe your house got flooded, your car hit by a hailstorm, or, I mean, the wildfires in California and so on. So you see, we all immediately, as soon as you hear about climate change, these pictures pop up. And that's actually the reason for this blank slide, for this empty canvas here, because I thought like rather me choosing pictures of different events or so, climate catastrophes, I thought like I just provide you this empty canvas here and let you in your mind project these pictures on this slide. It created some confusion at the beginning, but okay. And the other question is, who of you does not think about CO2 when you hear the word climate? Hands up. So I think that's very closely triggered. So as soon as you hear climate, I say, yes, CO2. So it's a lot, there has been a lot of attention, obviously, due to very good reasons in the last couple of years. So scope 1, 2, 3, we all work, and be it at a country level, but also company level, on reducing on our carbon footprint. But there's the other side of the coin, and that's more the adaptation side. So who of you, when it comes to climate, really thinks about adaptation? Hands up. So you see, that's probably roughly 40 to 50%. So you think, and this is exactly what Zurich Resilience Solutions does. And that's also obviously related to our closeness to the insurance industry, because we kind of have skin in the game with it. So whilst climate change is already happening, while we're facing these more severe and more frequent extreme weather events, which hit our customers, but also society as a whole, it becomes ever more important to build up resilience and through adaptation. And this is what we as a risk advisor try to do. So we support our clients, be it the public sector, but also obviously the private sector, private companies, to first of all identify probably their weak points and then together build up resilience through adaptation. One of the examples I would like to speak about is a project that we currently have ongoing in the Pacific Island countries. So that's, as the name says, in the Pacific, is kind of more or less close to Australia and New Zealand. That's 14 different nations which are spread across the Pacific. All together, if you take these 14 different nations, they sum up to a size of roughly the size of France. So 550,000 square kilometers, but they're split across 7,500 islands. So just imagine the challenge. So if you want to build up a resilient infrastructure, just imagine the challenge this is. Because, I mean, many of these islands are, first of all, already now they suffer from the effects of climate change, rising sea levels. So the islands tend to rather get smaller, but also the availability of fresh water due to changing weather patterns is not guaranteed anymore. So what do we do? So together with these islands, obviously it's a very data-driven approach. I think also if you think about making investments in these islands, very often it's closely linked obviously to the insurance industry, because whenever you look for investors for such projects, what is not insurable very often is not investable. And this is where we come into. So at a very, very early stage, through a data-driven approach, we support specifically these, we can help supporting these countries by kind of making sure that resilience is built into these projects at a very early stage. So, for instance, many of these, due to the size of the islands also, if you think, okay, I want to put on limited land, so okay, you need to use land for housing, obviously, and then also for farming, So if you want to put then solar panels, where do you put them, Well, probably not on the little land that you have available. So this brings in a lot of challenges, and this is one of the examples how we together, obviously with many other stakeholders, work together in making these countries more resilient and supporting them in also building up a more resilient infrastructure. So we very much, having said this, obviously also work together with companies, private from the public sector, from the private sector, and this is, I think, a very much a key point in the work we do. Is we are a strong believer, and it also came up in many of the discussions or in other panels yesterday. There is a strong need for public-private partnerships, because you can't. That's not a problem that a company can solve on its own. You can make your factory very resilient, but if the village where the people, the workforce lives is being flooded, it doesn't help. Having said this, back to you, Markus.
Thank you, Risto. And thank you for again taking this risk perspective. We have natural hazards. Obviously, it creates a lot of demand to create a resilient infrastructure, especially in countries in the global south, and how this can be turned into a business opportunities for a company like Zurich Resilience Solutions.